Anyway, guys, CrunCher here in game 2.
It's a crunching feeling.
That's very smart. CrunCher being our orange Protoss on the right bottom side of this map. And of course, Liquid Red, my fellow Dutch Zerg, spawning in the left top side of this map.
Do you think Red wears orange when he plays StarCraft?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Red is that nationalistic.
That's too bad.
Because, I mean, he's been living in the US most of the time anyway. He might be playing in red, white, and blue.
The US is the greatest country on the earth.
I mean, like, orange is our party color, but our flag colors is red, white, and blue as well. So maybe that's
y'all learn from the best.
Maybe that's why red blends in so well.
Why you gotta be copying us?
Why we gotta be copying you? You're copying us, guys. Well, my country is older than yours, man.
Doesn't matter. You're still copying us.
You know New York, where it came from, right, Ben? I told Ben so many cool things about the history of USA, and he didn't like any of them. My funniest Ben moment is, once upon a time, I think I asked Ben, I was like, Ben, where do you think that the Royal Dutch Airlines are from? And he said, I don't know, London?
Oh, man. It said royal. I mean, there's royalty in England. It's also owned by Air France, by the way, so...
Yeah, oh, you really had to go there.
I'm just saying.
Oh, the national colors of France are red, white, and blue as well.
And they're also copying us.
That's why. Sure thing, man. CrunCher playing a little bit more, not risky even, but just playing more economic this game. Going Nexus before Forge. I like that, certainly when he has getting a pretty good scout off over here. Even though Red is already expanding. Ohana is one of those maps, man, where I just feel it's not really worth pylon blocking. I feel if you want to pylon block, you have to do both. Because if you only block one, it makes absolutely no difference to the Zerg.
I have a mixed opinion on that.
No. What is your opinion about you? What do you possibly get from blocking this while Zerg's just expanding over here? And other way they would have done the same anyway, just in a different order.
Because I think it's so hard to get creep to the third base, and I think like a Void Ray and a couple of Zealots can really apply a lot of pressure to that third base.
But you shouldn't forget that now he's gonna have creep threat earlier from here, so it's actually gonna be easier to connect.
Yeah, but he still has to go through the rocks. Like a Queen, he's not going to connect the long way around for Queens before a Void Ray can get there.
Yeah, but that makes no difference, because normally you play against 3 bases anyway. This only allows to be that third base to be up way quicker. Don't you agree with that? Because normally when the Void Ray
you're right. You're definitely right about that.
I don't know. I think if you want to do it here, you have to do both. But that's just my opinion.
But I mean, I feel like putting down 2 pylons is a waste anyway. I think that's too much.
But at least then you're delaying something, because right now...
You're delaying everything. You're delaying him and you're delaying yourself.
Yeah, but that might be a phase of the game where you feel comfortable. If you practice that a lot, you're going to feel more comfortable in a weird environment.
Don't you feel like if you put down 2 pylons, that 6 lings are just going to run in your base and kill you?
No, because then you got to put cannon here as well, if that happens. I mean, sure, then your Nexus is even more delayed, but if he runs 6 pylons across the map, that also means that your 2 pylons are going to be there forever.
Wow, 6 running pylons. That sounds smart.
Did I say 6 running pylons? Well, 6 Zerglings. Well, I would be afraid if 6 pylons running like this.
Like
try to stop 4 gate now. Man, that's unfair. Pylons crush 4 suit as well.
Yeah, like pylons have those little 4 things that like go around them. Imagine if they could just plant and turn into legs and walk like a spine crawler. Except I feel like a pylon would be faster than a spine crawler because they're robotic legs.
I just thought straight away of like those back in the days. You had those Red Alert, you had those missile turrets, like those really useful tanks. I mean useless tanks, but they actually did give detection. So it was kind of like, I don't know, like to my feeling that's kind of like a pylon on the back of a truck that you can transfer around. So it's basically like a warp prism that can fly. Hey, my race is pretty good.
You have a warp prism? It'd be really cool if there was like a pylon truck, though. I would love to see that.
Yeah,
it's just like a regular Terran truck with the pylon in the back.
Yeah, that's so awesome. What's wrong with that?
I want this unit for Heart of the Swarm, or whatever the Protoss expansion is going to be called. What is it going to be called? Legacy of the Void?
That is correct. The Legacy of the Void.
Bam.
I'm excited for that, man. Finally, Protoss is going to get some real units.
We're playing a more standard Zerg. Well, I say a more standard Zerg style. He's gone up to about
4 gates.
Rhett? CrunCher?
Yeah.
Yeah, CrunCher's going to be putting on some 4-gate pressure. Rhett's throwing down that Roach Warren pretty early. He's got 3 bases, 44 drones, and he's already working on that Roach Warren. He's going to need it, though, because of this 4-gate pressure that's coming.
I like this a lot. This is also important. When you go for 4-gate pressure, do not be too obvious with your scouting probe. This is everything that keeps your strategy alive right now. So I love that CrunCher is sending Zealots via the middle of the map, which also distracts Red and perhaps doesn't allow Red to scout as well as he would have normally done. Because how often don't we see this? But Red is actually like really expecting this. I'm not sure how much. Yeah, Red actually gets a really good scout off in the main base. And I guess he just saw it before as well. The Forge spinning around. Red knows pretty much what he's up against. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, because it's not. We saw that with 5 against Mana. Ooh, CrunCher is wrapping in Zealot. Well, okay, that's fine, because Zealots have +1 right now. But now he also gives away what he wants to do. And now he has 6 Zealots, which...
Red's defended this brilliantly, Kev. He's going to be fine. CrunCher's doing the right thing, though, by retreating. He might lose a handful of Zealots here. But...
he only has a handful of Zealots.
Actually, I don't think he's going to lose any. The Zealots are high-tailing it. The Roaches don't have speed.
The Zealots are quicker than you, Ben.
Dude, they're not. You know who they're not quicker than? Greetorp. Because that kid's fast. Seriously.
I know. CrunCher supply blocked himself for quite a while, actually, which is a little bit sloppy. Maybe Force Field will go down right now. He has a cannon, so he should be more than fine. Red should be careful. Losing all those Roaches would be painful. He's going to end up losing 3 of them, which I guess is okay. He gets a pretty good scout off. He scared CrunCher a little bit. He knows what he's up against, but he didn't really have to lose those 3 Roaches. Then again, he's up to 60 drones right now, while CrunCher is only at 44 probes. And now Red's getting 12 more additional drones. So.
Red's done such a good job of scouting. He has really seen everything. He's seen the Robo. He's seen the Twilight Council. He has seen absolutely everything that CrunCher's built. CrunCher's once again trying to warp in some Zealots here, but...
You could also say that CrunCher didn't really do the best job of trying to hide something, though, because the moment you don't have a single Stalker in your main base, Overlords are just going to idle there forever, and will not only see your opening, but also your follow-up.
Yeah, that's true, too. That's true, too. So, well played by Red. Maybe slightly...
What is this, man? This looks so funny.
Little Overlord smiley face, kinda. What is that? What does that even look like?
Yeah, I don't know.
Overlord question mark?
I'm trying to puzzle it together. It's kind of like a T, but then it's very windy. So the bottom part of the T got blown to the right side.
It's like a cursive R.
No. Yeah, no, that is. It's cursive R. Rotterdam. Thank you, Red. Probably just gonna stop with Red, but.
CrunCher still has a pylon hidden on Red's side of the map, and Red, never mind, he's gonna spot it here with these Lings and Roaches. But so what is CrunCher's follow-up? Let's actually get down to it. He's got +2 spinning already. He's not started any upgrades on his Twilight Council, and he's building some Immortals. So we might just see another big gateway Immortal push. And with this many Sentries, that actually makes a little bit of sense. I
would be surprised if he does that, Ben, because he just took out these destructible rocks. And I think if you want to go 2 base, you don't take out these rocks, because he could still leave via the main. So I think CrunCher is just going for 3 base, which he's kind of giving away right now. And he also made a ridiculous amount of Sentries, which can be good for attacking, but it's also, of course, very useful to defend against multi-pronged Roach aggression. Still, it's all going to come down to how well will CrunCher be able to defend at 2 different places at once, and how good are his force fields going to be. And I'm afraid, Ben, when it's going to be Red versus CrunCher, that I think I know how this fight is going to end.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see, Kev, because it's not over till the fat lady sings. Or until Andre crosses the finish line.
I knew you were going to say it. Like, I actually want to say it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to say it. And then just a few seconds later, I know you had to bring Andre in there. You're so upset.
I'm so angry, man. I really did not expect him to be faster than me.
And Ben, in all seriousness, though, we have 47 Roaches on the map right now. 50 Roaches against 5 Zealots, 3 Immortals, 1 Stalker, and 13 Sentries. Now, those Immortals are good, but against this many Roaches?
I don't think he's going to have much of a chance. He's going to need some really great force fields. Red does have Burrow. Tunneling Claws is not done yet. He maybe should have waited about 10 more seconds or 30 more seconds, but still, he's going to be attacking from multiple directions, takes out the upgrading Forge. He's going to push right up into that natural. Nice force fields by CrunCher, though. He's really done a good job of defending this thus far.
Yeah, Red is still maxed out, though, even though he is making 16 Roaches right now. CrunCher wipes in a bunch of Stalkers. That's going to help out a little bit, but he's going to need to do more than that. This is a really scary force. He's going to have to rely on force fields for quite a while.
Tunneling Claws is also done now, Kev, so Red can just burrow right under. He hasn't started utilizing it just yet, though. These Immortals
doing a really good job, and those cannons helping out a ton as well.
We could be heroes. That's what the Immortals are singing right now.
That reminds me of the... No, I know the other song. Naniwa linked me last night.
Oh, and here we go. Now we're going to see some tunnel action. Red going to burrow. CrunCher just backing up. He's really doing a pretty good job, though. Finally, those roaches get close enough, unburrowing, but CrunCher still.
I like those force fields. They really push the roaches back a little bit. CrunCher is still alive, and so far he killed a ton of roaches. I'm a bit surprised that Red completely neglected this side right now, because now he gives CrunCher the time to basically dance around. What he really wants CrunCher to do is just split up his army.
Man, I'm so impressed. CrunCher's doing a great job so far. He's still got a single cannon left. He's going to lose this last pylon. But Immortals and Sentries are freaking good against roaches, Kev.
But look at the minimap though. CrunCher, Red is not done yet. Good force fields once more by CrunCher.
No detection though without the pylon there.
A little bit.
And still, Red's maxed. And the thing is, like he can afford to trade like this, and
for quite a while.
Yeah, and if he gets up under those Sentries just one time, this game's gonna end.
And also, CrunCher is of course starting to run pretty low on energy. I mean, he still has 10 Sentries. But he doesn't have the same amount of force fields anymore that he had when he started this war engagement.
That's right. He's got maybe 5, 6 force fields left.
This is going to end up ugly for CrunCher right now. Beautiful trap right there by Red.
Finally got caught out of position, and Red able to move in very, very close. Picks off some Immortals, going to get a lot of Stalker kills. Can actually deny this third base, I feel. Or could have denied this third base. May yet do that. CrunCher's really hanging in there, though. More good force fields. More and more Immortals getting tons and tons of kills. How much damage do you think these Immortals have done, Kev?
I'm glad that they don't count that. David Kim might get scared of the numbers and do something horrible to my precious Immortals.
Oh, one Immortal falls. There's one last Immortal. Will he survive? He will not. But the last of the roaches do get cleaned up. It's now 100 supply to 150.
The big problem is that CrunCher's army is really thinning out. Let's take a look at the unit counter tab right now. He has 11 Stalkers. That's more than he ever had, and 1 Immortal. But if Red is just going to wait one more time and gets more roaches and then goes for multi-prong, quite a few roaches over here and then quite a few roaches over here on the left side. He also knows that there are not that many forces anymore right now, so he's starting to be able to fight his army heads up, and we all know how good roaches are then against Stalkers. Certainly when the Stalkers do not have Blink.
No, they have Blink.
I know, but I said if they don't.
Oh. Cool.
Actually, I just saved myself. I did it.
I didn't think that he had Blink either, because CrunCher wasn't using it much.
No, I haven't seen it in the Blink
but he did finally throw down a Blink there at the last second. That's the only reason I realized it myself. There's the Blink micro coming out of CrunCher. And he's trying to make another valiant stand here, but Red just stays. Max continues streaming down the map with roaches, 10 roaches in production. Whoa, offensive Blink.
I'm still pretty impressed indeed by CrunCher, how long he's able to stay alive. I don't think many Protoss players would have been able to stay alive this long against Red, putting you under so much pressure. No, this is actually a really fight that Red shouldn't take anymore, with Blink being ready and CrunCher really optimizing.
It's been 120 supply against 200 for the past 6 minutes. And Red, he finally puts down a Spire, so he's going to make a transition here.
I would love to see Red at least take one more base, you know, just in case
another one.
Yeah, just in case that this road suppression doesn't work out anymore, and it doesn't really work out anymore right now. CrunCher has those Blink Stalkers. He doesn't have those cannons anymore. He lost a lot, but he never lost too much.
He lost a lot, but he didn't lose more than Red. As resources lost tab shows that CrunCher traded pretty cost effectively.
Of course, Red has been mining more for quite a while, but this third base hasn't been up for quite a while from CrunCher, and I'm impressed by the way that he handled that. Even though I did a few times, I felt that Red neglected this a bit too much, when actually it would have been really tough for CrunCher to fight at 2 spots, then he didn't do it. And when it was a little bit easier for CrunCher, because Red made it more obvious, or made the group too small, only then Red did it. But still, really good defense by CrunCher. Very impressive.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kev, and he's going to just continue to tech up. Red's got his Spire finishing, and it looks like he wants to make a Muta switch, and I don't mind a Muta switch, but I'm not sure that it's going to work.
This is a scary army from CrunCher to deal with pure roaches.
Yeah, and here we are, another big fight. Stalkers blinking back, force fields going down. Zerglings help a lot.
Yeah, they help out so much right now. That's also going to leave these Immortals a little bit too exposed. Maybe CrunCher got overeager after all. Beautiful roach movement by Red.
Oh, CrunCher finding himself a little bit too far forward. The Ling is making that roach army so much more scary.
He defended so extremely well for such a long time, and now just moved out a little bit too early. Despite that army looking also scary, but the moment all those links arrived, it's just a whole different engagement.
And with these roaches hammering away at the Stalker count, the Muta switch is going to be much, much stronger than it would have been previously. 86 supply remains for CrunCher against 160 of Ret's, but now CrunCher's got to spread this very thin army out across 3 bases, and Ret can just attack wherever he wants.
Well, I really love Ret's roach movement in those big battles. You see it like they fight all the time, but the moment the cooldown is on most of the attack of the roaches, he moves straight away, and he really wants to get in the thick of things, and that's so extremely important. You want to get close to those Immortals, and certainly when all those Zerglings are engaging, that kind of forces the Stalkers to blink back much quicker because they're taking more damage, and then those Immortals were so exposed.
Now things get really hard. Muta's in the main base. Roaches and Zerglings coming into the third base. What can you do, Ret? or what can you do, CrunCher, I should say. Rhett can do whatever the hell he pleases at this point in the game. 108 supply against the 100, and he's attacking at 3 locations right now. CrunCher has really shown a much better game today than we've seen out of him in previous weeks, so we're seeing some development from the American Protoss player.
The former Warcraft 3 player.
Mm-hmm.
Rhett, of course.
Rhett's still one of the best in the world, and exerting himself here. Again, CrunCher's going to push forward, but again, it's 100 supply difference between these 2 armies.
Yeah, now all those Zerglings coming in once more, and Zerglings are so effective against those Blink Stalkers. Forces them to blink much quicker and also forces them to not really be able to run away, because then those Zerglings are going to get so many free hits off. CrunCher calls GG, and Rhett takes this series 2-0, but I would be lying if I said it was super convincingly, even though of course Rhett looked strong and he looked like the better player overall. I think CrunCher put up a really good fight, and I think he can be more pleased with this best of 3 than the previous ones that he played.
I agree with you. Like game 1, CrunCher, he was winning. He was in a winnable spot. And we'll call it a bad decision to take a 3rd versus trying to end the game there. Game 2, wow, he really defended exceptionally for a long time, and I think he just pushed a little too soon. I'm not really sure how to break that down, but just as soon as he moved out, Rhett caught him in the perfect spot, and with Roaches and Lings together. Yeah.
I mean, that army, I think if he would have known there were so many Zerglings on the map, there's no way that he would have moved out. But if he's like, oh, that's a Roach army only, sure, I still have a lot of Blink Stalkers. Because you could already see when Red still tried to put on some pressure, Red already started to back up, because he's like, oh no, I know how these fights are going to end. Every single time I'm almost going to kill a Stalker, Stalkers are going to blink back, and I'm going to lose more and more Roaches. And then when I retreat, the Stalkers are going to blink on top of me. So in that way I can understand that CrunCher wanted to move out. But yeah, he was doing so well. Like, he was at 140 supply right now. If he would have waited to 165, 175, I don't think that much would have been that any army of Red in that phase of the game would have been able to hurt him.
Yeah, it was tough. It was really tough. I was impressed with CrunCher's play today, though. I can definitely say that. Red does prevail 2-0. He does come out the better player on this occasion, but that makes me a little bit excited to see CrunCher's games in coming weeks.
Yeah, I mean, there's still $150 on the line for CrunCher. Of course, it's sort of unlikely that CrunCher makes it to the finals or the playoffs of the NASL, but it's still an awesome opportunity for him to play in the NASL. If he wins 4 best of 3s, he still gets $600.
And he can still finish ahead of Cats.
Well, yeah. Well, Cats is coming back, Ben. I've heard that he found a PC in Peru, and he's ready for action.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. We've been missing seeing some Cats action.
Yeah, I miss Cats. He's such a cool guy. And good player, too.
Yeah. Guys, that last game was brought to you by GameMinder, the smartphone app that allows you to set reminders for video game releases and NASL broadcasts. Check them out at handleabra.com/products/GameMinder. Last week, I was, after a broadcast, browsing Team Liquid, and I saw somebody saying, hey, thanks, NASL, for telling me about GameMinder. It's a really handy app.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, wow. That's awesome. That's one happy customer.
I'm not smart enough yet for a smartphone, Ben, but one day when I feel that I'm smart enough, I'll get one.
I really like mine. I bought a Samsung Infuse, and
nice advertisement.
yes, Samsung.
Samsung, are you watching?
Are you watching?